Hello and welcome. In this tutorial we are going to talk mainly about tunnels. Since that's a pretty straightforward process, we will have enough time also to check the point light modifier to see how to change geotypic textures and also to use the brush height tool. Let's start. The tunnel example project used for that tutorial is included in your 3D Builder installer under that path. Open the tunnel final example. In the vector tree you will see the elements that conform that scene. So we have transition, tunnel with lights and roads. If we see that in 3D it looks like that. Close it and open the tunnel example. That's the initial part of the tutorial where you have the scene with your elevation data and actually 3 roads in a group. So that's our starting point. First of all, I'm gonna check how it looks like in 3D. As we see here, we have the road and our mountain. And what's different for other roads is that object eraser that prevents trees to be in the middle of a road. It's just a modifier we added here. So press F6 to see how it looks like. And the first thing we are going to do is create the profile crossings. Remember, those were 3 roads. Now we have them here with 2 transitions between the 3 roads. To add the tunnel, just select in element node the middle road and look for the tunnel vector list ID. So it's around here, tunnel with lights. Okay. Now in our vector tree we have a new vector group, the tunnel with lights. And if we select it, we see that the modifiers that conform it, one of them being the tunnel modifier. But let's see how it looks like in 3D. And so is it. We have our tunnel. Now let's take a look to the attributes of the tunnel modifier. We will start with the seam bevel. Here you have some examples with different seam bevels. Actually, I will describe that as the angle between the road and the entrance, the vertical of the entrance. Let's move to the seam width attribute. That's like how big is that entrance mark. See the difference here between 0 and 0.5. Other attributes are related to materials. We can change the seam material, and I'm gonna add a concrete, and that seam material is again the entrance. So the path material will be the one following the tunnel, the one in the interior of the tunnel. So let's see how it looks like. We just changed the seam material, yeah? And it looks like that. So I'm gonna change the other one. But maybe before we generate it, I'm gonna explain first the last part of that modifier, that path table, but I think it's better to get the seam width at 0 to see better how it is. So now we don't have a seam and I can show you how does it work. We are gonna use the blackboard. That path corresponds to that profile, to the tunnel profile. And this side of the table corresponds to that axis, being 0, 0 here at the corner left. And that other part, the green part, corresponds to the other part of the table and is the height in C. If we go into the blue axis, we can go till the 0.4, that corresponds to that point in that table, and you can see already how it works. Like the last point, 0.4, is in a height of 3.9 meters, and that's our upper corner. Then we have our symmetry axis in the middle of the road, and that corresponds to that height here, 4 meters. That's a mirror axis. That means that everything we go there will we mirror it into the other side of the road. So that's the symmetry axis. let's see how it is with in the praxis. I'm gonna try to make a bit smoother that profile, like make a rounded corner on the top, and I can imagine that to do that I should add some points and the distance on C a bit smaller between those points, like the final the points that will be at that corner. Don't forget to bring back the seam width, and let's generate it. So yeah, that's smoother. So we are done with the tunnel modifier. Let's move to the light point modifier. Here is where you control your lights. You see all the attributes we have here, like for example color. I'm moving it to pink. And radius size, let's say like 1. Okay, I forgot the point. And you see many things like blinking sequences, but the important is the height offset, because if you remember, the tunnel sailing is around 3.9 and 4 meters. That's why the lights should be placed around that height, otherwise they will be inside the mountain's geometry and won't be visible or even levitating on the middle of the tunnel. Other thing I'd like to show you is like the geotypic textures, how to change it. Move to land cover data and see that where you are pointing your cursor is showing here down in meters. That area is between -1000 and 20 meters. That corresponds to grassland. We are gonna change it so we have more trees. The trees geometries with the geotypic textures. I also would like to activate focus and activate the sky before generating it so it looks nicer. And yeah, we have more trees now and pink lights. That's maybe not what we want. I will change that offline now. And well, other thing, I mean, we can change it here. It's nothing new. You have already seen it. That doesn't matter. I change it again to white. Let's take a quick glance to the brush height tool. You can choose pixel resolution and map size, and it's a matter of clicking on the terrain and extruding it, so you can add more mountains to your terrain. It's also like quite relaxing. And well, that was not necessary to say. Anyway, let's see how it looks like. And yeah, we have more mountains now. That's all for today. See you next time.